Just yesterday, the Alzheimer's Association released their 2018 Facts and Figures report, providing the latest statistics and trends on the disease. And here to walk us through the results is Director of Scientific Programs and Outreach for the AA, Keith Fargo. Keith, thanks so much for joining us today.
Sure, thanks for having me.
Of course. So, very important report every single year. What did this year's report indicate?
Well, this year we're really seeing an increase, unfortunately, in the burden associated with Alzheimer's disease. That was really borne out in multiple statistics in the report this year. More people than ever before in the United States have Alzheimer's disease today. There's been an increase in the number of people who are providing care. I'm talking here about the unpaid kind of informal care, spouses, children, etc. There was an increase in cost actually this year. For the second year in a row, we've topped $250 billion in terms of the cost to the country. That's Medicare, Medicaid, private insurance, and out-of-pocket expenses. Potentially most alarmingly, we've seen a more than doubling of the Alzheimer's disease death rate over the past 15 years.
And, you know, you're talking about that death rate. It is shocking to hear that. Why the increase?
Well, it's driven primarily by demographics. So I want to be clear here that age, as you grow older, does not necessarily mean you will develop Alzheimer's. Age is a risk factor for Alzheimer's, but it's also a risk factor for things like cancer, heart disease. We know those are specific diseases that, although associated with age, can be surmounted. And the same is true for Alzheimer's disease. As we age, more of us are developing Alzheimer's disease. Therefore, more of us are passing away from Alzheimer's disease. But just like with heart disease, cancer, etc., where we've made actually decreases in the number of people dying from those diseases, we can see the same kind of decrease in the number of people dying from Alzheimer's disease if we make the investment in biomedical research that we have for those other diseases.
Right, and the report also talks about early diagnosis. How essential is that in treating it and you know, being able to overcome Alzheimer's or, you know, lessening it?
Yeah, well, it's really critical for a whole variety of reasons, and I'll start with some of the personal reasons. For one, again, not everybody has Alzheimer's disease, but most of us do experience some kind of memory loss as we age. And so it's important that if you have some memory loss, that you not have kind of a fatalistic attitude about it and think, well, I'm getting older, it must be Alzheimer's disease. Most of the time it's not. It may be simply normal age-related cognitive decline. It may be something that is treatable. So it's important for people to go to the physician when they have some memory loss, find out what's causing it. For example, it might be sleep apnea, which is treatable. It might be depression, even if you don't feel depressed, which is treatable. If it does turn out to be Alzheimer's disease, although we don't have a cure yet, getting that early diagnosis gives you an opportunity to participate in clinical trials where you may have access to the newest medications before they even become available on the larger general market. From a research perspective, early diagnosis is absolutely critical. In order to make progress against the disease, you have to know who has it and who doesn't have it.
Well, Keith, the first important thing people can do is get educated about this. If they want more resources and more information, where can they get that?
Well, the best place to find information and also support is the Alzheimer's Association website. That's alz.org. You can learn all about the disease, what's happening in research. You can also learn about the many free programs and supports that we offer to people who are living with the disease today.
Very good. Keith Fargo, very essential information. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Stay right where you are. We'll be right back.